I'm Craig Thompson with Thompson Patent Law.
And I'm Jovan Palmieri. I'm a captain on the St. Paul Fire Department and inventor.
And what is your invention?
It's called the BackSafe system, and it's a system that basically replaces hand signals that a spotter would use behind a large vehicle when it's backing up with wireless communication.
There had recently been you told me a story initially about a tragedy that happened in St. Paul.
Right. In 2009, one of our ambulances backed over a person in St. Paul, and that happened while I was working on my invention. And these backing deaths occur all over the country. There's approximately 300 a year just in the United States, and that's my motivation for working on my invention, trying to prevent those deaths and injuries.
So what's the status of your invention now?
Well, after working with the students in Mankato and getting that prototype, I was able to display my invention at the Minnesota Inventors Congress. And I mean, that was a huge step getting that prototype built by the students in Mankato with Craig's help. It allowed me to actually go to the Inventors Congress, which connected me with other inventors. I was able to win the grand prize for my invention in 2010 down there, and that's helped propel my invention and get it out there, get it seen by investors and businesses. So
it's a big feather in your cap for licensing.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about your team, how you got together, what was the problem, what was the solution?
Sure. I was in search of a patent attorney for an invention I had come up with to make backing large vehicles safer. I contacted Fish & Richardson looking for a patent attorney who had experience with electronics, and they highly recommended I contact Craig Thompson at Thompson Patent Law to help me with my patenting needs.
Your wife used to work there
Yeah,
as
my
well.
wife used to work at Fish & Richardson. My wife was a legal secretary there at Fish & Richardson, and so that's how I ended up calling them initially.
Now you'd already you'd talked to a couple other patent attorneys before you got to hold of Craig.
Right.
How did that go?
Well, not too well during my search. I had met a couple other patent attorneys and just didn't get a good feeling at all meeting with them. They were more interested in how much money I had than what my invention was or who I was. And so, my first meeting with Craig, I had a completely different feeling. It made me feel very comfortable. He was extremely interested in what I had for an invention, and didn't ask me questions about how much money I had, but more about, took a strong interest in what I had, and I just left that meeting knowing that, he was the guy I needed to work with.
Craig, now you've got a lot of clients. You've worked for some major companies. I think you've done some work for 3M and others of that size.
Actually, I'm one of the few attorneys in town who hasn't done work for 3M, but
a big company like the 3M.
I'm in a small minority around here.
But also, a fireman comes walking in. Do you often take clients that are small?
Yeah, actually, since I left Fish & Richardson, that's been one of the real joys I've found in my practice, is to work with people like Jovan that are just more interesting. There's more person-to-person contact. You get to know them as an individual, and
So what did you do for him?
You get that in the big firms. Yeah.
What did you do for Jovan besides just getting his patent done? Tell me a little bit about the prototype, the counseling, the guidance that you offered.
Well, probably the most interesting aspect was we had that opportunity. He's not an electrical engineer by training, but it's kind of an electronics-based product. So felt he needed some, to get a prototype. And I talked with my contacts at the University of Mankato and at the College of Engineering there. I'm on the board of advisors, and we just worked it out as a senior design project for the students. So it was a win for the students. They got an interesting project. It was a win for Giovanni. Got a very inexpensive prototype, and that worked. And at least showed that, demonstrated the proof of concept, and it was just a win-win-win for everybody.